Hello everyone, a very good morning. So today we are at day 21. Yes, we already have people coming in. Falguni, Pooja. Good morning. So you guys have been listening to me. You guys have been listening to me on staying ready with your sketchbook and then joining right on time. So good morning everyone. We are at day 21 and today's prompt is bad dog. So for today we are going to be drawing a werewolf. Is something I have myself never drawn. Hello Krishna, hello Vipin, hello Karthik. I myself never drawn a werewolf before, so I am in fact super hyped for today. Hello Doctor, good to see you after a while. I'm super hyped to draw this. In fact, let's begin. Let's first start with the flip through of the work that we've done so far. I had missed out a few days, but it's always motivating to look through the books. And always I would strongly recommend, like if you feel like quitting, if you feel like leaving it, always look back into your work. Always look back into your work and that gives you motivation. Hello Manu, good morning. This is yesterday, day 20 bluff. And here we go. Day 21, Bad Dog. Okay, so for now, for this one, Bad Dog, I have two characters. You have two elements here, and that's divided by a line at the center. So I can first start off by drawing a line. I can start off by drawing a line at the center. Can start off by drawing a line at the center, and here's where the people is going to come. So now this also takes a turn where it's like this. Okay, so I can just make a rough shape which has all of this. Like for example, the werewolf legs are coming here, the entire body is coming inside this. Since it's a rather complex shape, the first thing I need to look at it is I need to try and see if I were to cover this with mud, or imagine like if someone was sculpting this, what would be the shape of the rock in which they would be first carving it out. That's a very good way to look at it. Sketching and carving are in fact quite similar. So I think it's Michelangelo who has said this, that I do not see a rock, I see a sculpture that is covered by rock. I just let free of the other unnecessary parts. So now I'm just see, now the head of the werewolf is going to come here. Bhedia, the head of the Bhedia is going to come here. Its ears coming here. Its ears coming here. Then just blocking out the shapes. So once I have this large shape, I'm just blocking out the smaller shapes. Here, there's going to be the girl. I'm not sure if this is a bad dog. I'm not sure if the werewolf is going to devour over the girl or it's protecting the girl. But nevertheless, the girl looks scared. The werewolf looks scary. So I think what more is needed, right? This is good enough, is it not? That's good enough. So next, I'll draw the girl here again. Just a circle, because later on I can add in the details. Circle or an oval with the rest of the body. just the large shape here. This one, this will form the legs. Okay, this will form the legs. So I'm just blocking out the shapes here. Now you guys have become experts at blocking out shapes. So you can draw the then this will form the arms. Like this will just form the arms. Just make the larger shapes. We'll define them later. I mean, these parts later form the muscles. How are we going to define the arm muscles, the hair? All that is a secondary, is a matter of secondary thing. What matters first is how well you define the shapes. To form the shape of the leg. Okay. So now see, because she's scared, look at the shape of the body. It's all curled in. Like if you look at the shape of this spine, it's arched inwards. Like there's this arch. The head, if you notice, isn't held up high. It's hunched down low. So you want to position the head accordingly. These are small nuances that you can do in order to show fear into this one. You can make these adjustments into this. This will help show fear. Just drawing out the hair, okay, and all this. And then there is this hand that's coming here. Just let's just draw the shape like this. So there is this hand that's coming. In fact, it's at an angle. So let me just adjust this, set this angle here. Make this drawing nice and full. Then there is this palm that's coming, and that's held over this. Held over the sea. Now I have drawn the arms. You can define the shape of the arms here, how the fingers are coming, how this is coming, how these very long fingers are coming here. Then there is some, I don't know, there is some small bits and pieces here, which I really don't know what it is. Now let's get on to defining the shapes here. Once you have the basic structure, let's go on to defining the shapes. Yes, I'm defining the feet here. One more feet here. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm defining the fingers here. Defining the fingers here, the arms, the back. Like you can draw a few lines here. You can define the legs here. Okay. Make sure this is straight. Like you don't want these to be bent. You can add a little bit of toning and definition to the arms. These areas will be shaded. This will be shaded. Now we want to add a few details on the face. We want to add a few details onto the face. So I'm drawing a line like how we always draw the face. I'm drawing a line at the center and I'm drawing a line horizontally to the center. I'm drawing a line horizontally to, and I'm drawing these two rounds for eyes. Because see, when you're characterizing fear, the eyes just open up in fear and in amazement. So you want to show that. You can show the salute for the nose and for the mouth, and this will form it. This is it. I just draw these rounds for the eyes. We'll detail them later and just define the shape for the nose. This also is best once you ink, and then you can show the mouth, right? So you've drawn the person here. I want to draw the rest of the werewolf, the remaining of the werewolf. So I'm starting off. You can either start with the feet, or you can start with the arms, you can start with the body, you can start with any part that you're comfortable with. So here I'm starting off with the legs here, okay, and I'm just dividing the body. Now I'm adding in toning and muscle definition to the arms. This is called the delts. I'm just adding this here. Then I'm adding in arm definition for the triceps, biceps, just giving these strokes. I know that this part will have fur texture, so I'm also showing it as such with pencil. So now here the adding in the definitions for the face. Okay, so a lot of this depends upon the face. I mean, we are doing all this. At the end of the day, if the face is messed up, it's like the entire drawing is gone off, right? You want to show the definitions along the face first. So I'll start off by defining this part here just to know where and how the face is going to come, because it's all linked, right? If this is coming like this, then the face will be adjusted like that way. So since all of this is linked, always start from the part where you know and you're sure about it. adding this definition, the eyes also. So now I have the basic shape. I'm dividing this further with the head first, pushing out the ears. Okay, just make this, you can make these ears nice and protruding. Like, don't keep them short. Like, exaggerate on these body parts. Really exaggerate on these body parts, push them out. Notice how my pencil stroke is still working in a way where I'm pushing it out. I'm constantly pushing it out. My pencil strokes is still working in a way that I'm constantly pushing it out. Sure. So now adding the eyes. So see, notice how out of this round, after I have protruded the ears, I protruded this part, and I'm making it like a diamond shape. So this part also I'm protruding it out. Like it's midway down the center. Like it's not exactly at the center. Like this is center is where the eyes are. This is coming below the center. This also is coming below the center. And I can show this chin which is coming here. And now the rest of the details are going to come in. Okay, so I'm just drawing these round, in fact this slanting, little bit of almond like shape for the eyes. The other eyes also, like you want to keep them pretty close. Yeah. Okay, so now the nose is going to come below this. Leave the gap for the mouth. So after the nose is coming here, you want to make this nice and wide, right? You don't want to make this small, then he'll look cute. Oh my god, right now he looks cute. So I'll just narrow this and I'll raise this up. I'll show the nose here, add this, intensify the mouth, and also make the eyes slightly more round. Finally, now I think I'm able to get some of that intense look. The nose, yeah. Adding in the smaller features. This is coming here. This is coming here. Just adding these definitions. And finally, we can show how detailed all these parts are going to be. All right, that, that's it. So we have the pencil sketch. The other details for the teeth and all that I can detail in later. But this is the pencil sketch. Note how both the characteristic elements are there. Notice the scale of both of this. Notice how this is huge as compared to this. Even it's very even its face is huge as compared to this. Notice the size of the arm that is much more bigger than this person here. You can see the really strong legs that looks very intimidating. You can also add in the shadows, okay, because a lot of this is going to depend on the shadows. It's going to come here, so it helps add the scale, like really show the differences in between both the scales. And that's a very good way, like always when you're adding a contrast, it helps enhance the drawing. Contrast is always not about inking and shading. Contrast is also when in a composition you're showing two contrasting elements, so that one really gets exaggerated. Either you can say that the girl looks very small in this, or you can say that the werewolf looks very large in this, whatever the subject, whatever the topic you wish to focus upon. Now I can start by detailing this out. I'm adding in the hair. Now it's only about inking and detailing. So whatever you have drawn so far, now you can simply look into the drawing ink. I'm starting with the hair. Just pull your lines out here. You can draw the small details and definitions for this. There is this hair part that's coming here, right? Complete this. The ears, which are rather huge. Show this. Show the details for these ears. So just, I mean, these details are things that you can do only with pen. Pencil is very good for sketching large areas, but pens allows you to add a level of detail like never before. Just loosen up as you're drawing this. I mean, just loosen up your lines, and you should be able to get this hair feature very quickly. Similarly, let's add this here. Eyes. Let's add this details and definitions for the nose as well. I'm detailing this here. Detailing this one, and then as I'm drawing this, I can also simultaneously switch between the werewolf. Sometimes right above the arm, the nails of this needs to come, so I can draw these nails first. While I'm drawing the hair, I'm holding the pen rather loose. While I'm holding drawing the nails, my pen is held rigid, it's held tight. Make sure you get these expressions on point, because we're going to later into this, we are going to later detail all these. Okay, carefully, very carefully, you can draw this. This arm, so detailing these. Yep. This is leg that's coming here. Let me add the definition for this here. I'm using a 005 pen for this because most of these are very small details. Probably after this, I will use a bolder pen and I'll darken the some of these areas. But overall, I'm sticking to 005 pen because most of these are very small details, and I have to switch between the hair. See, there's this hair that's there, there's this, there are these definitions that's coming in. So makes sense. See the fur makes sense for me to work with a finer tip pen overall. So now as I'm working on the much more darker areas, I can switch pens. Like for example, if you look at the hair here, you'll see these are much more darker tones and elements. So as I'm working along there, I can switch to a bolder pen. That's not a problem. So there is this. details it's coming here. Since a lot of this have a darker background on the other side, I can use a bolder pen. So that's how it works. Like when there are a lot of light elements, use a lighter pen. Okay, when there are a lot of darker elements that are coming as a part of this, use a much more bolder pen. At the end of the day, remember that all this pen work and everything that you're doing, you need to look for a way in which you can always draw them with least effort. You always want to look for ways in which you can create them with least effort. Right? I mean, putting in the efforts, you have to put them in the right direction. It's not just about more effort, it's about the efforts in the right direction. So now I'm just detailing this is just something that's coming here. So I can just scribble this out. Okay, you can just scribble this out here. It's just something, some detailing that's coming here. Not very important. Then there is some shadow. So I can just place shadow because later on I can even shade over this. Okay, then there is a hair that's coming here. So you can shade the hair. Can shade the hair. Then there is definitions and details that's coming up here. So you can draw that. Yeah. So I'm detailing the face. So just as I drawn this, I can later, of course, come back with a bolder pen and I can do this. But for now, for this teeth, I'm so this is teeth that I'm drawing. I mean, right now the teeth looks a little disoriented, but that's okay. You can of course detail these later. There's this smaller things that's coming here. Then there is a so right now he looks scary, right, with the teeth and all. Otherwise, a while ago, the werewolf wasn't looking scary enough. Now with the teeth, completely the definition has changed. You can increase this to add to the horror element. Just draw the nose. Just draw the nose, whatever detailing is coming for the nose, you can draw that. Then again, like as I'm drawing this, I'm constantly switching between pens because there are smaller details along the face, and then there are these wider black areas that I want to draw. There. Now with these detailing for the eyes, now they look good, huh? So I mean, when you're doing this, you want to check for the symmetry. You want to make sure these eyes are in the right position, nice and round. Nice and round. You can add these. There's this fur detailing that's coming here. Then there are these smaller. Then there are these smaller detailings that's coming inside this. See, these need not follow any clear direction because at the end of the day, you need to remember that this is hair and it's very, what do you say? What you're drawing is a very rough hair, very unruly, very untidy kind of a hair, right? It's all over the place. So rather than trying to get them all organized, try to bring in that element of randomness or that chaos into this. Let's add in these fur definitions here, repeating the same here as well. Again. And these ears also, you want to see the direction in which they're primarily going. And you want to draw according to that. So now that I have this, I have the sketch ready. So I have the sketch and I have the ink ready. Now I can move into the final touches wherein I can use a bolder pen here and I can add into the details. You can use a 03 pen for this purpose where you're just working on bringing out the black, really dark and black areas. In addition to the hair that you're drawing. So detailing these here. See, notice how I'm using a thorough bringing out a fur texture even while I'm making it dark. Like when you're doing this, sometimes there is a tendency in us to just shade, to just make it shabby. But that need not be the case. I mean, with a bold pen, you can bring out a really dark fur texture, feel into it. See, just it's just that kind of stroke movement that you're doing, right? It's better than this blackening. It's better than simply blackening, and it also helps add a lot of details into this. There. So now with all this darkened, now this looks great. So you just add this fur texture here, and don't forget to add in these details and elements here. Like you can really darken these areas, bring them out. Them out, and I'm adding these hair for this one. Right? I mean, you don't have to draw them as shading. You can show them as this hairy outgrowth that's in here. Like it's a lot in here. Okay, hairy outgrowth here, here. Hairy outgrowth here, here. Okay, so now there are these areas inside here which of course I have to darken. But before that, let me just make sure that I have finished all the other areas here. So for example, there is this part here. So this is this part here that I want to darken. This part here that I want to darken. So these fingers, this nail, right? So we are going to now move into detailing the girl. So there's a shadow. You can show the shadow here. There's a shadow that's coming here. Here, there's the detailing and definition that's in this. And then there's a shadow that's coming out ways also. And you can see now what's remaining. See, now that we have done all this, there's literally nothing remaining in this. Like there's nothing that I can do or that I need to do on this anymore. Anything further will actually take out the charm of the drawing, because then we'll at this stage we'll be overdoing it. So we can drop this, and then now we can move into detailing the girl here. Okay, so there is this part. So just start by surrounding the girl with the darker tones. Okay, starting with the werewolf, and then slowly go ahead into detailing the rest of this. Go ahead into detailing these. Okay. So you can darken these areas. So there are these areas. Okay, all the areas where I cannot reach. Drawing these with hatches. See, notice for this one I've used fur, and for this one I'm using hatching. I'm using hatching for this. And similarly, this. Finally, these areas too. These areas too. That is of course part of the werewolf. There you go. I love this. I absolutely love this. So, what do you guys think? Isn't this cool that you've redrawn a really cool werewolf here, very detailed, and this in fact looks like it's come straight out of a comic book. It's come straight out of a comic book. Really cool stuff. And yes, that's our day 21 Bad Dog. So share your drawing, tag at Soulflow Art, connect, show off your work on Instagram, show it to your friends, your family members. Be proud, take ownership over your drawing. Oh, talking about ownership, I myself need to sign over your drawing. And yes, I wish you all the best. Have an absolutely beautiful day. And see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day 22. And what's going to be the prompt? Day 22 is going to be about heist. Heist. Very interesting. So let's do this. Take care and see you.